So freaking bumpy. Jesus. Yeah, I don't know now. This buck might stop here, folks. I don't know. Let's check it out. Ugh. Definitely a flash flood area. I mean, I don't know. I might be able to make it through, but if I make it through, what does that mean on the other side, right? I don't know. This is just frustrating. I get so close and then there's some issue and then I've got to change everything up. So I don't know. Let me think about this. All right, I'm gonna put this thing in the four-wheel drive and I'm gonna go for it. So wish me luck. I'm gonna go slow though. It's not too deep here. Well, I made it through in four-wheel drive. That's probably the dumbest thing I ever did, because I gotta remember I gotta come back this way yet, and if there's a problem up there and that water gets, oh well, you know what? All in the name of fun, right? It's all in the name of adventure. I'll look back on this someday and I'll laugh. I will. I swear. I hope. So I'm getting closer. Now I'm about 4.6 miles away. But the roads are pretty bad. I left it in four-wheel drive, which is a good idea because I think that this road needs work. It's extremely bouncy. The windows are starting to get fogged up because there's moisture in here from the rain. But I'm getting closer. I'm definitely getting excited. It's been an awful long way to get here. I just hope that it's worth it. So I made it in through the visitor center, got my pass, and now I'm taking what's called the loop road, and right away you can see over there to the right there are some ruins. I'm not seeing a parking area, so I don't know about taking a walk up there at this point, but I'm sure I will find some areas down here where I can park. This is what the area looks like. Okay, I'm at a first ruin site. It's called Hungopavi. I guess that's how you pronounce it. I'll show you the sign, which is right here. And it is not a cliff dwelling, but it's an old structure. So if you look on this rock right here, there looks like there's a squiggle, looks like a snake, and it looks like there's some other markings. The problem is there's absolutely no way to tell whether or not those are contemporary or not. Dollars to Donuts say contemporary, because I think the older works tend to look a little bit different. But this is a different type of rock. This is like a sandstone or something like that. Whereas some of the other petroglyphs I've seen in the past are on harder rock, and then of course they have that dark patina that they use to, inscribe their drawings and whatnot. So I don't know. It's something that we'll have to look up or research later on. But I did buy a book about Chaco Canyon when I was at the gift shop, because I got to add to my library, right? I've got so many cool books right now, I'm never going to read them all. Now, there's definitely a certain allure to these old sites. We figure they're about 800 or 900 years old. People lived here. They thrived here. They had this whole vista in front of them every single day. And then they built these really interesting structures, especially at Chaco Canyon here. They're incredibly fascinating because they're circular, and the masonry work is outstanding. And again, you're looking at 800 or 900 years ago, and this was before Europeans, which quite frankly came and messed everything up. I think the native cultures had a really good thing going, regardless of weather conditions, just like we have today. It's a little bit easier weather conditions today, because if it gets too hot, we can hop into a air-conditioned house, and if it's too cold, we can pull on a sweater that we bought from Walmart. And the same thing applies with food supplies, right? If we need something, we go down to the supermarket. When you're living off the land and you're living off the livestock and you're living off the animals that populate your area, you have to kind of go where they go. So the question then becomes is, what great thing happened that caused these people to move? And I guess it could be any of 100 different things, and I'm sure there's scientists that will speculate whether or not it's food, whether or not it's climate, or whether or not it's the introduction of European folks. The European folks brought with them, of course, disease and firearms and all this other stuff that really destroyed the cultures themselves. But despite that, the wonderful thing is that we still have places like this that remind us of really how grounded humanity was at the time, because all these places fit very nicely into the landscape. They understood the landscape. They understood the climate far better, I would say, than we do. The only difference, of course, again, is that they didn't have that mobility factor as quickly as we did. So when cultures started to go, they just started to decline, and there really wasn't much they could do other than move. And at some point, things just fail. is pretty amazing. See if I can get through these little spaces here. So you can still see the wood up here at the top. It's all original wood. Now we're back out. Wasn't that neat? Wasn't that cool to explore and actually walk through something that's so old and so ancient? Totally amazing. And this thing just goes on and on and on. So, but I'm gonna run back to the truck. There's more to see here at Chaco Canyon, but I'm seeing that my batteries are running low because I took a lot of video walking around, and hopefully I got some stuff that when I share it with you guys, you'll get an idea of what it was like to be here with me. There's two different trails here. Both of them are quite long. Both are going to be very time consuming, and it's 12:30 already. So of the two, the Peñasco Blanco trail is the one that I'm going to opt for. It says it's 7.2 miles round trip, so it's quite a long hike. I have plenty of water. Shouldn't be an issue, but why I'm interested is because there are petroglyphs along the way. The other one is more a circular route, and it's slightly shorter. It's only 5 miles. But again, what I'm interested in is the petroglyphs. So I'm going to take the longer hike. If it gets too much, I'll turn back. But I already went ahead and I signed in. They asked that we sign in, so I went ahead and signed in. Truck is secure. I've got water, got sunglasses. So yeah, that's what we're going to do. And we will be swapping out batteries. I was going to swap out the batteries back at the truck, but I didn't. But I brought them with me, so let's get this hike going. Looks natural though, it doesn't look man-made. Even though those look like bricks, they're not. So this is probably some kind of animal cave, or maybe people took refuge here, I don't know. But I don't see any smoke, although this could be some soot damage here. Hard to tell. If so, it's been a very long time. But I suppose if you needed a really quick spot away from the elements, this would do it. So we'll get down without falling. I fell the other day, as you guys know, and it was horrible. Landed right on my tailbone, was shot up right through my back, which did not make me feel super duper. Yeah, see, it does make you wonder about human habitation. Like you look at stuff like this, which looks man-made, but it's not, it's a rock. You know, when it comes to pottery shards and things like that, that's what archaeologists and anthropologists, scientists, they use that as the basis for dating cultures, right? There's certain periods when certain cultures use certain types of pottery. And same thing with tool making. You know, I've never found an arrowhead. I've never found anything like that. I have found pottery shards, though. Matter of fact, I purchased some off the internet about 10 years ago from from a private collector of what they called Anasazi pottery. And Anasazi really wasn't the name of a tribe. It was more or less the name given to a group of, indigenous people who didn't really have, or they weren't really identified. I think now they call them like Ancestral Puebloan or something like that, instead of Anasazi. But that's the same idea, though, is who were these people? Where did these people come from? Did they migrate from the south? Did they come from the Bering Sea area across the land bridge? All really, really good questions that someday we'll resolve. And even if we don't, that's okay. There's something about a mystery that people love. People like me, I love it. I love not knowing where these people went, because it's fun to ask the questions and speculate, right? And that's where our imaginations are just, that's why I'm grateful for an imagination, because you can take a little bit of information and then kind of develop a theory, and then as you learn more, further to refine that theory. I mean, you may never know the answer, but just thinking about it just makes life so interesting, right? Everybody loves a mystery, and I think there's no better mystery than the past. Pretty obvious that not a lot of people go out as far as I'm going out doing this 2.5 mile, actually a little longer than that, like 3 mile, because look at the trail I'm on now. I mean, there has been footprints, people coming through, but this is not a heavily populated trail, which tells me that folks don't really come back this far that often. So admittedly, it's a little intimidating. I mean, what's nice about today is that there is a breeze hitting me on the face. The rain has stopped, but there's still cloud cover. So the breeze cools me off. So even though it's in the 70s or the lower 80s, it's actually quite pleasant for a walk, and this is all a flat surface. There hasn't really been any hills to climb other than some very minor ones. So it's actually a very pleasant hike, and as you can see, there is like nothing around me. I am all by my lonesome out here. I mean, you talk about total independence, autonomy, solitary, hermit-like conditions. This is definitely it. It's me and the desert, or the canyon, or whatever word you want to describe where I'm at. So if it's your thing, Chaco Canyon's the place to come. But let me tell you, getting here, well, good luck. Good news is the water's not flowing. So this is the deepest part. This is the wash part. Matter of fact, the water is flowing. If you look down here, we're actually getting liquid flow coming down and through. So the next part is to get up. And I think I can do that with a little effort. All right, we made it. All right, now we're back on the trail again. Ugh. And after all that way, well more than 3.5 miles, considering I had to backtrack, this is what I've come to see. Peñasco Blanco. Parked all the way around that bend, way the hell down there. It's a long ass way. up here is just gorgeous. It's got a beautiful reddish color to it. Actually, it looks like all the walls have a beautiful reddish color. It's just spectacular to see. I mean, just look at this. Look at the masonry on this. You know, it's just flat stones, and there's some design aspects because you've got the row of thicker stones, so they had a certain aesthetic that they preferred. And then you have the thinner flat stones going through here, and then it's a repetitive pattern. It's absolutely gorgeous, you know? Absolutely. And of course, this is the section that I really wanted to look at. And look at how thick these walls are, by the way. This is about 2.5 feet at least. Yeah, you're looking at at least 2.5 feet. And the stonework is just gorgeous. It's beautiful. This is where the two parts of the wall would have come together, which is why that's rough there, right? And this probably was a doorway at one point, but over time got blown out for whatever reason. All right, it looks like the second battery is almost out of juice. It's now 3 o'clock, so I've got to get back. So I'm just going to put the pedal to the metal and try to get back within the next 2 hours so I have time to set up my tent. But tell you what, this place has been phenomenal. It's worth the hike out. It's a very long hike. To do it on a hot day, bring plenty of water, but it is absolutely gorgeous. Yeah, hopefully you can make it out here someday, because if you can, I think you'd really appreciate what this site has to offer. So I'll see you soon. It's really funny what can happen in a day. It's about 3:45 in the afternoon. I'm on my way back to the car so I can go set up camp. But just look at how much the day has changed. Look at the beautiful blue skies, how red the rocks look. This morning it was flood conditions, windy, raining. I tell you, if you wait a day, things change. Actually, a lot of times it changes during the same day. So from that perspective, it reminds me a lot of New England. But what an absolutely glorious day it's turning out to be. Love it, absolutely love it. Okay, the last thing I need to do now that I'm done walking the 3.5 miles is to check back in here at this welcome station. So let's go ahead and do that. Oh look, they put sharpened pencils in there. Okay, start time was 12:30. It doesn't have a return time. But we're back. So what time is it? It's I don't know, about 4:30. We'll put 16:30. I guess I don't care. But I'm back. So 12:30 to 4:30. That's about a 4-hour hike. Yeah, look, there's my dirty baby sitting right there, right where I left her. So now we're gonna go find the campsite, which is campsite number 4 at the Gallo campground here at Chaco Canyon. Get the tent set up, and yeah, we'll be good as gold. Can't wait. There we go. I'm all set up. Got the campsite set up to my left. Got neighbors right here to the right. Very quiet little cul-de-sac area here. Here is the tent. Tent's all ready to go. It's on this nice pad, so I had no problems driving stakes. It's just I do have to watch for ants, which are not my friend, but I'm keeping everything zippered. Restroom facilities. Got this nice rock wall all the way around here. And then of course, the direction I came in is this direction here. So a little picnic table. The only thing I don't have is any anything over me, any overhang, but I'll deal with that. So, we're ready for a camping night. So it's only 5 o'clock, so I still got a couple hours before sunset. Take a walk around, see what's going on around here, and then settle in, do some writing, eat some food, drink some water. We'll be good. Oh, I am official. That's me. Number 4, part 7-2, position 4. There I am.